The tugboat, for its size, is the most powerful craft afloat. And the Star Tugs are the power behind the docks and waterways that make up the big city port. This is TUGS.
Back at it with those gems. TUGS. From 88, or is it 89? Let's find out in this video. So TUGS is a television series created by David Mitton and Robert T. Cardona, who you may remember back in the Thomas Attention and Friends video where the executive producers, they helped create the show to life in 1984. And by the time after the second season, I think people were hoping for the third season to come out in 88. However, Thomas Attention and Friends didn't come back until about 91, 92. Well, 92 in screens, 91, he came back on VHS, direct-to-video actually. Fun little fact there for you. Instead, we got this spin-off series. It consists of 13 episodes, so it's another one-off TV show, but in my opinion, of all these one-off shows, these TV shows that have like only one season, this stands out from the lot. It is the top in my opinion. I think another one that might go for the top as well is Joshua Jones. Even though I never really grew up with that show, but I find it quite interesting, for its wit and interesting stories as well. This takes the cake for being totally opposite to Thomas Attention and Friends by a mile. There's a few reasons why. First and foremost, the episode length is about 15 to 20 minutes. Second, the stories are so different. Because they have more darker themes, and even there's some darker stuff in there as well, like i.e. kidnapping. One of the main supporting characters actually dies in the TV show, and there's a sense of danger as well, which is far more dangerous, far more deadly than a Thomas Attention episode in particular. Although when you think of season 5, it totally has upped its game a bit, Even though I think series 5 is more related to TUGS, really. It's more, you got that TUGS influence infest in series 5. That what makes it so interesting. There could be a little bit of parallels there actually a bit, and yeah. And first, I think another one is, they're not based on anything. These are just original stories that David Mitton and a few others have written. One of them which being Robert Cardona's son Tarquin. Another one actually is Chris Tulloch, who actually did the voice of Soren, and actually was one of the art directors actually, who actually, helped as well. And he actually written an episode, which is the episode Trapped, which I fondly remember. So TUGS. So my first exposure to TUGS was through VHS. My parents got me free VHS from I have no idea where, because these came out in 89, 90, and I have absolutely no idea where they came from. Either from car boot sale or I literally have no idea. I think for stores, they won't sell them at that point, especially like in the late 90s very much. Who knows? Or second-hand electronic shops, something like that. So I remember getting these, and I was very interested because on the top it says, from the producer of Thomas Attention and Friends. I was intrigued and say, what's that all about? And the design itself, like the designs are, the VHS designs are actually really good. Like big bold, you have warrior and top hats at the sides, and then you get the episodes at the bottom, i.e. Trapped, Ghosts, High Winds, also like munitions and 4th of July, or let's say munitions or regatta, as it's known as. I think 4th of July is just like a secondary title, pretty much. And I remember watching these, and I remember really being enjoyed. Like the intro done by Michael Dolan and Julian Campbell, who actually wrote on Thomas Attention and Friends, along with David Mitton and Cardona, and so on and so on. Really do a good job. It's got this sort of jazzy feel to it, like a slow jazz. It reminds me of Jeffrey Rafferty's Baker Street thing, which I get that sort of weird connection to it. Like the saxophone is like, when I hear it on radio, it's like I still get that, that blaring saxophone that comes out. Another interesting thing to mention about this TV show is it's in the 1920s. Apart from, well, because Thomas Townshend and Friends is set in the 1940s, if so, or 50s. It depends what time, it's not what era it is. I think it's 1940s. This is set 20 years earlier. So, and no, I don't think it's considered as a prequel to Thomas Townshend and Friends at all. It's just a spin-off in a different time, in a different decade very much. And it just works, like the industrial age and the sort of industrial style of it is really good. I have no particular clue where it's set. Is it in England? Is it British? Is it in England, in the UK? Or is it somewhere like in the US or something like that? You do get some interesting types as well. I mean, well, let's just discuss the characters. So obviously you've got the Star Tugs, 10 Cents, Big Mac, OJ, Top Hat, Warrior, Hercules and Sunshine, and the leader Captain Star. You got the Z-Stacks being Zoran, Zebedee, Zack, Zip and Zug. And you have a few characters as well, like, for example, Lily Lightship, Sally Seaplane. You've got the Coast Guard, which is like a little midget boat, who's basically be the centre of authority, even though he's very small and dainty compared to all the rest. You've got Izzy Gomez, which is a Mexican immigrant. He's asking to get into the city. He's trying to get, like... I don't know if that's like a little satire of immigration. I have no idea, but I find it quite hilarious. And Izzy Gomez is a funny character as well. You've got Grampus, who's a naval submarine. You've got the character Blue Nose, who only featured in 2 episodes. Who's the naval twit and has a blue nose, of course, and is very authoritative and quite shouty, and it looks like he's deaf or something like that. Even though I think about it because he shouts a lot. He might be deaf, who knows. And... oh, yes. Who else can I think of? Who else? There's a few other side characters as well, like Billy Shupak, who speaks an American accent. Sort of like a southern accent, very much. And he's a pyromaniac. Sea Rogue, who's the one-off character who basically is the thief who's trying to save his kidnapped uncle from getting killed by a couple of tugs with X-ray specs or something like that, or night vision goggles, which is quite weird actually, but nicely designed and yeah, pretty good actually. And then you got who else? Boomer, the unlucky tug. Yeah, lots of characters, lots of memorable characters actually in that. Only in those 13 episodes, it's really good, and it's very sad to see that it only ended on 13 episodes. And the last episode, Big Freeze, actually sets the mood. Like, it's sort of like a sad ending, because you get that song by Sue Glover at the end. It seemed like a song for Vienna, and the end, it just, it gets emotional. I think it gets emotional for some people sometimes. Like, this is the end, this is the final one, and it ends on a very sad song. Boy, it's just, it's so good, so amazing. Oh, even think about it now. You can send a tear down your eye. Childhood memories. How funny. Anyway. Oh, I forgot. When I mentioned about the 88-89 version, Munitions and Regatta were released first in 88 as a video-only thing, and when in 89, I think Sunshine and Pirate were as well in 88, but then, a year later, they came out on ITV in 89, and all 30 episodes came out, and that was it. I think in April 89 they came out. Yes. And afterwards, TBS, Tell Me Yourself, who actually helped produce the TV show, went bankrupt. Again, through this division, which Thames Television and TVM, and, they've all gone. Again, it was like to do with Margaret Thatcher very much. Thatcher, forget it. It was mainly to do with Margaret Thatcher, really. Anyway, no more political stuff, no politics on here. No politics, it's a kid's show. Mind you, there's some weird politics as well. Anyway, Tugs, arguably one of the one of TV shows. It's a spin-off for Thomas Tanch and Friends, which is really good and it succeeds very nicely. Mitten and Cardona have done really well with this TV show. It's got a very good stamp to it. You can see it doesn't hold. It holds quite a lot of punch. It doesn't hold a lot of punches, or holds a lot of punches. The wit is brilliant. The voice acting is so good. The stories themselves are really good. I mean, very watchable. You could watch them over and over again. You know, they really tackle some interesting stuff, even by kidnapping. I mean, they even tackle. They don't even care like either one of the supporting characters is dead, even though now or since last year one of them has sort of been revived. That sort of gives a little continuity type weird stuff theory going on, but overall it's just so interesting, so enjoyable, and yeah. And to finish off, I've decided to put the last scene of Big Freeze on to let some people, to give off a little bit of an ending to a brilliant show that has sadly been lost in the mists of time, although people still remember this. Anyway, thank you for watching, and I'll see you for the next video. Bye.
Why couldn't I have been a liner, I wonder?
'Cause you're not big enough.
You are silly, warrior.
You're clear, Vienna. Bon voyage. Godspeed.
Oh, he really is lovely.
Yeah.
Good night, Vienna.
Good night, Vienna.
But no matter how